Reen's aether has changed. It has taken on a faint golden hue. Curious. I wonder what that means. I want to say we've heard about the color of some other people's aether, but I don't know if it's ever... And does the color of the ether relate to a certain element? And then what would gold signify? I mean light, I guess. Just a golden light as opposed to like a white light. Do you have any idea how worried we were when word reached us that Ranjit was alive and headed for the hills of Amber? Oh yeah, I forgot that we last saw him going down the hole in Raktika. Oh, I cannot wait for this to be over so we can all go home, assuming we even can. Minfilia will be sorely missed, though it was grandfather's legacy which first brought me to Eorzea. I would never have become a scion were it not for her. Indeed, there would be no scions, and 2 worlds would be the worse for our absence. Tataru and the others will no doubt be heartbroken to hear the news of her passing. Until such time as we can return to them, however, we must keep our heads held high. Though we have lost 1 scion, we have gained another after all. Yeah, it's kind of... I never had that feeling of Minfilia being useless, but I've heard it many times from others. And I don't know if I've heard how they felt at this point in time. You know, but going from quote-unquote useless to kind of the linchpin in saving 2 worlds. I mean, granted, not in a very visual type of way. You know, in a way we have seen. She just kind of popped up and was like, did the deed, but... Despite this glad turn of events, the suffering born of mine all too arrogant meddling paineth me still. Yeah, I was thinking of that when he was telling, at the time still, Minfilia, about his part in sending the Oracle here. I'm pretty confident I did not remember that when I did this the first time through. So that was probably another instance of, I was like, I have no idea what he's talking about, but cool. And yet, their smiles do give me hope for the morrow. Thank you for standing by Reen and Minfilia. I'm sure it meant a lot to her, seeing you one last time. Would that I could have been there to hear what words were exchanged between them. When all of this is over, perhaps I'll ask. A fresh start. For perhaps the first time, the look on Reen's face is one of utter relief. I honestly don't know how to repay you all, or repay you for all you've done, but I promise to do whatever I can to help. Are you certain you're up to fighting so soon? I can't imagine the power of the Oracle is something one learns to wield in the space of a few hours. Maybe not, but the presence of the Light Wardens is unmistakable to me now. In fact, I sense one here in Amarang, to the west. I think it might be hiding underground. Underground? Then it's as we suspected. We thought it prudent to take a brief survey of the area prior to your arrival. To the west, we found the remains of a site known as Malika's Well. If I recall correctly, the well was built in remembrance of one of the ancient kings of Nabatharang to serve as a source of respite for the desert heat. It fell into disuse after the flood, whereupon the miners of Amarang thought to turn part of it into an excavation site. Judging by its size, the underground waterways are no doubt extensive. The perfect hiding place for a warden. Reen, are you certain you can track it down? Leave it to me. Then it's settled. We make for Malika's Well. If I recall correctly, the well was built in remembrance of one of the kings. Respite from the desert heat. Okay. So it really was just a well or whatever. I think I just assumed it for the mine that it became or whatever, and then just wasn't even really thinking while I was reading it. That the walls should still bear so great a burden after countless years of neglect bespeaketh the surpassing skill of their architects. I didn't expect to see Talos wandering about, much less of their own accord. How long must it have been since their creator's bones turned to dust? The warden is down there. I can feel it. A marvel of ingenuity, is it not? Something about this doesn't feel right. Though I cannot see it as you do, it is no less awe-inspiring sight. It is no less it is a no less awe-inspiring sight. Never said I was a good reader. It's here. I can taste its ether on the wind. Then we finally found our mark. Let's put an end to this, Lavenza, and return the night sky to Amarang. Our battle with the Warden of Holminster Switch was an eye-opening experience, to say the least. Alize and I have trained tirelessly that we might be better prepared for our next such encounter. For Minfilia and the countless souls who struggled to carry on her legacy, we must end this. I can't help thinking about all the children at the inn, abandoned to wait for the inevitable. As long as the light holds sway here, there is no hope for them. But if we defeat the wardens, if we restore the night, then maybe they can still be saved. I was surprised to hear Ranjit survive the fall, though I suppose I did the same. More surprising is how he so readily saw through our diversion. A foe possessed of such cunning would be sufficient cause for concern in itself, but one capable of besting Thancred in combat too? We would do well not to underestimate him when next we meet. Lest thou worry, I did relay unto Magnus word of thine untimely accident, whilst I waited for thee to return from thine audience with the oracle. He hath since reclaimed his Talos and trolley both, and meaneth to begin repairs anon. For a blessing, the damage was but superficial, the leonine heart unmarred by Ranjit's onslaught. No need to worry about me. Urianger and Yerstola were quite thorough in their ministrations. A pity their magics did nothing for my clothes. At any rate, we cannot well stop now. Not after all Reen and Minfilia have given to bring us this far. The warden's presence feels familiar somehow. Now that I think about it, it reminds me of... But that makes no sense. Sorry, I'm sure I'm just imagining things. I wonder what that means. I mean, thinking on what the warden is, it doesn't remind me of anything. Form a party. Okay, sorry, twins, but...
Our fates are not yet sealed.
Victory will be ours! Here we go!
I gotta bring Reen to this one. Always gotta have your Stola. And then, I don't know, I guess I think I heard that, Urianger was the better healer, however that's quantified. Let us do the thing. I can sense the warden somewhere below us. That was Reen that said it. Ooh, and I've got my 2 casts of lunge now. Yeah, I should have used Blackest Night earlier. I wasn't even thinking about it. Oh, I actually have Blackest Night as well, too. Oh, no, I've had that. Dude, I don't know where my head is. Like, keeping track of, you know, the level syncing and what abilities I have, I'm... Looks like this is the one they're focusing. So the question is, who's going to be the one to use the LB? I don't know that I have any feelings one way or the other about this particular dungeon. It's probably one of the ones I've done the most in a group, just because it you know, it kept popping up in mental roulette, and it's all right. I don't know that any of the bosses really strike me. I mean, the last one's kind of cool. The first one's all right, and is the second one the Buckethead? I think I was expecting him in what's it called? The last one we did. Katana Ravel. I don't know why I was... Just because I think of the environment as, you know, like a cave. But I think he's in here. Yeah, I don't know.
I'll show you.
It might not even be here. I don't even know. I look forward to Mount Gold. Just because, you know, the back half of that one or whatever is quite breathtaking, if I do say so myself. Reen says we have to go deeper. This is a very cool arena. Like, I don't know, there's just something about the lighting of it that looks very nice. Yashola says, I would rather not slay the beast, but if it means to bar our way. I mean, we could probably just go around it, but... Oh, that's what I'm waiting to get. That 80 is the shadow. I think I mistook the Blackest Night for the shadow.
This is going to leave a mark.
I've never really taken the time to look at this boss, but he's actually kind of cute. While he's clawing at my face.
protect me. Our time not yet come.
Man, the first, I don't know, like 25% of its health felt like it went by really quickly. And then it's just felt like it's dragged since then. But I guess the fact that it's at 33% feels lower than I was thinking it was. I don't know. Yestola took quite the hit there.
I will not hold back. Here we go.
Ah, there we go. Lean.
I'll show you.
Yeah, I did not get that up in time. Did he just use an ability called Right Round and then did a spin? If that's the case, then that is awesome, and I've never noticed that before. Let us press onward. The Warden awaits. Royal Custard. I wonder where they come up with the names of this stuff, and what is Custard doing in the well? Unless custard is a word outside of just the food. Ishola says, we've reached the pit. Blew the timing on that one. Get ourselves some loot here. This one's actually a pretty tough pull. If you grab that group, this dude, and the next group. If you're not hitting cooldowns, it can really cause a lot of trouble. So this means that when our next dungeon, which will be Mount Gold, I will have my shadow, which will be pretty awesome. And the question is, will we hit that tonight? I would love to, but I don't know. It depends on how long I go tonight. It being a Saturday, I'm willing to go longer. Depends, how long I can sit for, how much my butt can take. I don't have the most comfortable chair. Okay, yeah, here's Buckethead. Reen says, this isn't what I was expecting. Nobody expects Buckethead. Yeah, he really is kind of an odd duck in here. Just a random Talos with a bucket on his head and buckets for hands. It's like, what are you and why are you here? This is a really prevalent mechanic ever since they introduced it. Which I want to say, but I could be wrong, was Gimlet Dark. Did they have that mechanic before the boss in Gimlet Dark? I do not recall. I just have this feeling like being not surprised, but I guess just, you know, that introduction to going like, oh wow, okay, this is a new mechanic with that boss. But they use it all the time now. Got us all over Bozja. Ooh, Urion J. What? He actually died? How? Can I survive this? Dude, how did Urion J botch that? If I can keep hitting him, maybe I can get enough health back to survive this, but... Holy crap.
I will not hold back.
Wow. Urion J. Dude. What? Did I do something wrong there? Because, like, I didn't think that the truss messed up at all. That is crazy. I don't think I've ever had that happen. Maybe I should have taken Alphino. Urion J, you noob. I don't think I screwed up any of the mechanics. The only thing I can think of is... he put himself in harm's way to maybe heal me or something. But then from my understanding, the trusts don't do that. They stop whatever they're doing to do mechanics. And he clearly got hit by a mechanic because he had the like a water dot on him. That blows my mind. I'm definitely going to go back and watch that footage. And if he really just blew that, I'm going to ridicule him for all eternity now. For being a noob healer. That's so crazy. Okay, I've still got... Oh, that's too late, though. If I had hit it, like, a little bit faster... I didn't think I would get it in time, but I think I would have if I had hit it right away. Damn. I should have waited a sec before using lunge. My bad. So my rotation is not great. Or just timely usage of abilities. But I don't think I've screwed up any of the mechanics. Again, I'm just thinking of, did I screw something up that did that to Urion J? Nope. That wasn't fast enough. Although it didn't do that much damage to me, so...
will not hold back.
Well, you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and say, like, any good MMO player, I'm going to blame the healer. So, Orion J is bad, and I had nothing to do with that. Gods, I'm soaked to the bone. No, actually, that's Orion J. Orion J definitely got wet there. Yeah, I don't stun as much as I should. I mean, not that here it really matters. Well, it does, but you're still going to have to dodge out of one of them. I just tend to pay more attention to interrupts. And just, I mean, if it's avoidable AoE, just walk out of it. But again, yeah, see, I don't know, because there are some, I think there's some mobs I know, oh, that can be stunned, and I'll do it. But it's not like it really makes that much of a difference, because the whole point of stunning it is so people can keep DPSing on it. But nobody assumes that it's going to get stunned anyway, so they're going to move out of it. So... And I could have done Blackest Night with the 3 of them up. Typically, I think it's three mobs, and they'll be able to break Blackest Night. Where 2 or less typically is not the case. Rianche says, terrible is the beast that doth wreak such corruption. These are interesting pulls, you know, just because they're, like, you can actually prevent having to fight one of them, sort of, if you kill it before you have to fight it. That doesn't make any sense. Yashtola says, careful, I sense something queer within these rocks. That's one of those words that obviously you know what it means, but you can replace the meaning, and sometimes it's like really insulting, and then sometimes it's just really goofy. You just, I don't know, like thinking about the cast time on these rocks, and then like if you don't defeat it before the cast is finished, then suddenly the rocks break apart and hey. Some dude just comes out. They're attacking this one. Well, we were able to take out one of them, which I was just kind of surprised for with the trust. So which one are they attacking now? Okay, it looks like this one. Yeah, we should be able to get one of them down. Kind of just in time. Start attacking this one to get aggro. I don't even know if I had aggro on it. I would assume not. But it's, you know, once I actually took the time to look, I had aggro, which I think I only hit it once by then. And that's how easy tanking is in this game. Or at least the aggro aspect of tanking. So yeah, Reen sensed something familiar about this. Storage, maybe. Hopefully she says something to indicate what it is that's familiar about it. There it is, Reen says. And that's it. Nobody else has anything to say? All right. Yeah, speaking of tanking, I don't think I've ever really had tanxiety. Okay, that was an AoE. Not the tank buster. But yeah, I don't really ever have any anxiety when it comes to tanking. The only reason I typically don't tank is there's been multiple different reasons. I remember back in Heaven's Word, working on Bismarck Extreme, I just eventually felt kind of a feel like a like, for the lack of a better expression, just because it kind of fits, is a bit of FOMO, you know, fear of missing out. With tanking, in that, you know, when you've got a big boss in your face or whatever, I remember, and it may also be because I think at that time, like, I didn't zoom out all the way like I do now, or mostly all the way out. And so I was always, well, this boss isn't a great one to show it, but
I will not hold back.
When you were tanking the ads, particularly the, I don't know what they're called, but, you know, the flying weird reptile ads or whatever, you know, the two that you have to keep separated. I couldn't see anything else while I was tanking it. And everybody else is having to do all these other mechanics and stuff, and I just kind of had to stand there and, you know, step out of an AoE or whatever. I just felt like, man, I'm not even seeing the fight. This kind of sucks. And I think that was the first time that I really started to venture away from tanking. Because I think, like, I started out as an Arcanist and did some actually, I don't think I did much Scholar. I did some Scholar and Summoner, but I think I almost did, like, immediately after hitting 30 or something. It was pretty early on I switched over to Warrior. and I think did warrior through the rest of the MSQ and everything. And then eventually, I think toward the end of A Realm Reborn going into Heavensward, I played Paladin. And then once Heavensward came out, I switched over to Dark Knight. Yeah, I don't know. I played a bunch of tanks up until that point with Bismarck, and then I was just like, man, I want to play something else so I can actually see the fight.
I will not hold back.
Because typically, again, tanks don't have to deal with as many mechanics as everybody else does. But part of it is also, I guess that goes with having to do less mechanics, but also I think a bit rotation-wise and stuff like that, there's just not as much involved with tanking, so it can feel kind of boring. But yeah, so no real anxiety when it comes to tanking. Healing is the one that I've typically felt more anxiety from, particularly if it's been a while since I've healed. And I've just had times where I've felt overwhelmed by it and stopped playing it because of that. So when I come back to it, it's just, again, feel overwhelmed. Oh, right. And like I said earlier, I think this was back with Katana Ravel. I think this is the first time we start to get like a backfiring or whatever from the absorption. Yeah. Not even any kind of dun 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 or whatever when it's sad. Well. Gotta be another cutscene here, right? Yeah. Prepare to have your minds blown, gentlemen.
Don't get me wrong, I'm glad those travelers made it all the way to Nabatha Reng. But when Urianger told me the Talos was in pieces, and the trolley didn't look much better, I couldn't help wondering what in the hell's had gone on.
What indeed? At least the heart is in one piece. The rest is replaceable. Looking at this mess, though, it's a miracle they survived.
You can say that again. What the? Are you seeing this?
The sky. It...
That's got to be so mind-blowing. Because most people probably have no idea what the night sky actually looks like. Oh, right. That'd be the first time he'd see it, too. Because it's not like they've got the internet at this time. Couldn't even see pictures of it.
At last, night has returned to Amareng. We'll save this broken world yet, Tesleen. You see if we don't.
Uh-oh.
No doubt retreating in the wake of the Warden's demise.
Back to Calusia, the last refuge of light.
Home to our dear Lord Vorthry, who will no doubt do everything in his power to thwart us.
As well he should, for defeat there would spell the end for both him and his heavenly host. There the fate of this star shall be decided.
That's crazy. At the time, I don't think I understood like how big a role Vothri played in everything. I think I was expecting to get, you know, to go after the Light Warden in Yulmore earlier. But it makes sense that that'd be the last one. Is this not the moment Emmett Selk usually chooses to descend upon us? Whatever will we do without his feigned praise and backhanded compliments? I guess she didn't see us have that reaction. Because I expect her to like go... Or even just to see the corrupted ether in us. Because obviously at this point, she should be able to see something different about us. Something wrong going on. Once more shall the night share equal dominion over the firmament. And yet our travails are far from over. Perhaps their ministrations were not as thorough as I thought, or perhaps I was a touch too reckless. If only I could have seen the look on Magnus's face when the night sky returned. They must all be so happy. But what about you, Lavenza? Do you feel different at all? Yeah, I mean, she can see or at least sense the aether as well, or at least the light. I mean, she should be able to sense something with me. The end to light's dominion over this world is fast at hand. We did it. We really did it. I only wish there were time to visit the inn. We can but hope the return of night has granted the residents some shred of comfort. They thought the world beyond changing, but today I think we proved them wrong. We will fix this broken land, Lavenza, together. Hells yes. Thank you for watching this video. Tonight's stream was fantastic. We finished off the, I guess, second half of the Amareng story, which is great because it's the whole Minfilia Terrene thing, which is just beautifully done. I mean, Thancred's fight with Ranjit and how that ended is just fantastic. We started on the Calusia stuff, ending right with the big Vothri revelation, and him flying off to Mount Kolk. So next stream will be hitting that up, which is exciting. So yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed this. I hope you did too. If you did, even if you didn't, please like, comment, and subscribe. And yeah, if you want to join me live, the link to my Twitch, the link to my Twitch is down below. So please come join me. And until then, thank you.